the summer of 1937, Joseph Swarzy, who was my grandfather, who I never knew, decides to take his three sons, Bruno, who was my father, 12, Stefan, 10, and Henrik, 8, from America to Poland to make a new life. Their mother and two sisters planned to join them later. In September 1939, Poland is invaded. After spending a year in war-torn Lvov, Joseph, who is in ill health and in and out of hiding because of his status as a writer, must put the boys on a train to Moscow alone to make their way home to America. In this section, it's kind of prior to all that. It's early 1937. Bruno and his mother, whom he calls Katie, are meeting with Joseph in a coffee shop in downtown Manhattan, near the Bowery where he's been living. Joseph has some news he wants to share with them. So the narrator is Bruno, who again was my father, and he's 12 years old. Katie says Papa wants to see us right away. I can tell from the way she's pulling me along she can't wait to find out why. Katie's shoes click-click on the pavement. We walk fast down several blocks until we see the coffee shop on the corner. When we get closer, I see Papa inside, sitting by the window. His head is bent down and he's holding a mug of coffee with both hands, like he's cold. When he looks up, I can see his eyes are all red. He waves for us to come inside. I pull my hand out of Katie's and run through the door to the table where he's sitting. Papa. Hello, boy, he says. He grabs my shoulders with both hands like he wants to look at me first to see if I've grown. Then he hugs me. Papa's clothes smell bad, so I take a step back. I notice his fingers are all yellow from the cigarettes. Even with his thick Polish accent, I can tell his voice sounds different. His clothes are all crumpled and dirty. He's got an old gray overcoat that's too big, and there's a rumpled brown hat sitting on the table. He looks real skinny, and his face is all scratchy looking from his beard that's grown out for a few days. You're getting taller, stronger, Papa says. How old are you now, boy? That's what he calls me, boy, because I'm the oldest. Let me see, 10, 11, I've forgotten. How come he doesn't know how old I am? I'm 11, Papa, but I'll be 12 soon in July, remember? Ah, yes, of course. How could I forget? And you're going to school, doing well? Yes, Papa, I tell him, but I kind of lie because I know he'll be mad if he knows my real grades aren't so good. I've been in 2 different schools already this year. Last year I think I was in 3, but I can't really remember. I try to keep up in school, but I'm always behind the other kids. They laugh at me when I can't answer the teacher's questions. Me and Steph and Henny always stick together, though. We have each other, so we don't need anybody else. It's like having our own little club, and we don't let any of the other kids join. Hello, Joseph, Katie says from behind us. How are you? Fine, just fine, he says, nodding his head. Then he starts coughing real bad. Katie looks worried. That place in the Bowery is bad for you, for your health. He waves his hand at her. Never mind, come, sit, he says, pulling a chair up next to him. Do you want coffee? Boy, how about a soda, he asks. No, nothing for me, says Katie. Here, Bruno, go and get yourself something. She reaches into her purse and gives me some money. Papa looks down at his mug again. I'm not really thirsty, but I go over to where the sodas are all lined up inside the fridge. I pretend I'm looking for one, but I'm really listening so I can hear what they're saying. And so, how are the other children? Stefan, he is behaving? Papa asks her. Yes, the children are fine, she says. Good. We all miss you, she says. I see out of the side of my eyes that she's holding Papa's hand on top of the table. He nods his head up and down. You're sick, look at you. You're a skeleton. No reply. For a minute, they just look at each other. He takes a cigarette out, lights it, and sets it down in the little ashtray on the table. I have something I must tell you, he says slowly. I've received a letter from my sister, Maria, in Warsaw. Yes, and what did she say? Katie sits back in her chair. I turn sideways so I can hear better. She has contacts with the Polish government, he says. She's arranged for them to pay for my return to Poland. Papa's going to Poland? When? I take a bottle out of root beer, out of the case so they think I'm not listening. What are you talking about, she says, to Poland? Now? Yes, now, as soon as all of the papers can be finalized. Maria has made arrangements for me to work for the government as a writer. They will pay for my passage one way. But what about us, the children, she says. Where will you live? What will you do there? I'm going back, Katie. I'm not well. I want to die in Poland, not in this American swamp. There is nothing here for me. I want to see my father's grave, to die where he died, to be buried there, not here. But you're not dying. No, you will get better. You just need to rest. No, he says, slamming his hand on the table so loud all the people in the place turn around to look. You do not understand. Katie jumps in her chair. What? I cannot stay here. I do not want to die here. Do you understand? Papa starts coughing again. Yes, I understand, but he cuts her off. The boys will go with me. Maria will help. And Hanya, they will pay passage for them. We will first go to Warsaw, then to Lubuk. Once we are settled, I will send for you and the girls. I can hardly believe what he's saying. Take the boys. That means me and Steph and Henny, right? I can't breathe. I don't want to go back to Poland, Katie says. America is my home. I have nothing to go back there, there. Everything I know is here. Lowering her voice so I can barely hear her, she asks, and what about the rumors about Hitler? Hitler is bluffing. I want my boys to see Poland with me before I die. They will become soldiers. They will defend their homeland, their real homeland. There is a place for Bruno at the military academy in Lubuk. Stefan and Henrik will also attend when they are old enough. A military school in Poland? Did I just hear him say that? I walk slowly back to the table. Papa, are we going to Poland? You said we're going. I heard you. Yes, boy, that is what you heard. You said I will become a soldier. Yes, that's right, a soldier in Poland's army. You'll do what I did not have the chance to. Would you like that? Oh yes, Papa, very much. Katie stands, picks up her bag, and takes my hand. We'll talk about this later. It's done, Katie. There's nothing more to talk about. She looks at him for a long time, then turns and walks towards the door. Come, Bruno, we will miss our train. Katie knows when Papa makes up his mind there's nothing she can do. We leave him sitting at the table in the window, just like when we arrived. As we walk down the street, I turn around and look back. He's still sitting there watching us until we turn the corner and we can't see him anymore.